Welcome to Behind the Curtain IMO. I'm Betsy Jordan. This is a call to action. It is time now for you, anyone who's an American citizen, to pick up the phone and call your senators. The number of the Capitol switchboard is 202-224-3121. Why? Well, this budget bill has gone from the House to the Senate. This budget bill contains a lot of things that are absolutely cruel to people who depend on Medicare, Medicaid, food subsistence. All kinds of programs have been cut. But the real danger in this bill is that it gives a provision for the President of the United States to be above the law. This country was developed by people who did not want that kind of tyranny. Let me tell you why that matters and why that should matter to you. Let's say this thing passes and the president decides, I don't want midterms. I don't want any more elections. Or I'm going to suppress the vote so much in Putin style that the election is sure to come out in my favor every single time. Some of this is just fact, and some of this is educated guess based on past experience of understanding who this man is and who the people behind him are and what it is that they want. They want absolute power and absolute control. They want this to be a Christian nation. They want this to be a Christian nation that follows Christian edicts that I've never heard of before. And I am a Christian. So this is a real come to Jesus moment. So let me tell you, this is a time to turn over the tables. And turning over the tables in this case means calling your senators. I don't care what party you're from or what party they're in, you call them. Because the other thing this budget bill did was it increased the debt ceiling by $5.2 trillion. I don't even know how to visualize that. So all this talk about eliminating and increasing efficiencies and all that was nonsense. It was a ploy to dismantle federal departments, dismantle the government to the point where Donald has to build it back, or the president has to build it back with his people, and we've seen what his people do. So look, this is not complaining time. This is action time. This is a movement. This is not a protest. This is senators. Do not vote for this bill. Do not vote for this bill because another thing that could happen, he would declare sovereign bankruptcy. Now, why do I say that? Well, first of all, there's nobody on the planet that knows how to file bankruptcy better than Donald Trump. And I don't say that with tongue in cheek. I say that as a fact. He established the Sovereign Wealth Fund and immediately began to do things like firing park rangers and doing things that dismantle our park services. So what happens then? Well, they're not managing it very well. The government can't manage it very well. Let's sell it to some of my buddies who will do some mining for us. And let's say it's going to go into the coffers of the United States, but probably not. Why? If Trump has no elections and Trump is basically running the government, he's leading, he's consolidated power completely under him, then he's the one calling the shots about everything. He can then declare sovereign bankruptcy and not pay any creditors. Anybody he owes, grants, whatever, they won't exist anymore. What happens though to you? Well, you decide you want to take your ATM to the ATM machine and it doesn't work anymore. You decide you want to buy something at the grocery store and the dollar's devalued completely. Why does that not matter to Donald Trump? He has moved most of his money, or a lot of his money, to cryptocurrency. Why? Because you can't trace that. Now, I know I have advocated, even on this channel, that y'all become familiar with cryptocurrency, because I do believe that that's where the currency is going. I believe that, and I believe we have to understand and educate ourselves about how to handle that, how to participate in that, how to understand that the central bank may end up failing because we give our president permission to declare sovereign bankruptcy when we give him absolute power, which is what this bill does. Call your senators right now and tell them that besides all the other reasons this bill should not pass, raise of the debt ceiling, cutting of Medicare and Medicaid and health care for millions of people, eliminating food subsidies for people who need it the most. And how does that affect you? Well, people get a disease, it's communicable, they don't go to the doctor because they can't afford it. We are all connected and we're trying to deny that. So stop denying that. Call your senators, tell them they can't vote for something that's going to give our president power over the law, because that means all your rights will be taken away. And they're supposed to serve you, not him. So take your power back, even if you've never called your senator before, even if you think that your voice doesn't matter. Call this number. I'm going to repeat it, 202-224-3121, or go to the link, find your senator, call them, fax them, write them, however you need to communicate with them to let them know your position on this. We need for them to understand that the people know what's happening. This has been Behind the Curtain, IMO. Thank you for being here.